nilishindwa nimedo.
Yeah.
Unajua in my mind nilikuwa nimepanga I'll come clean.
Yeah.
Now I've spoiled it.
Yeah.
Hai. Nikikakaa hivyo within 1 hour sijui mzaya alikuwa ameambia watu wangapi. Wanatuma message za congratulations.
Yeah.
Mimi nikasema hii graduation lazima niwape.
Lazima ihappen.
Lazima ihappen.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
So I set out to
Yeah.
fake a graduation.
Yeah.
And that is what I did.
You faked a graduation.
Yes.
And how comes your mom is not calling you? How much she called you?
Of course she did.
Okay.
But you see, the thing, me and my mom, what will I say?
Yeah.
My life, I feel, it has been my father more, because it's my dad who is always there, make me proud, who is always there, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Nimekuangalia, my mother, I've always felt it.
Yeah.
It was a bit unconditional, so I didn't.
Okay.
Madhara nilikuwa najua hata pia tu ama aumwe alafu
Relax. But who was more stricter between your mother and your father?
My mom.
Oh, your mom.
My mom.
Okay.
But my dad, because of who he was, I always wanted to be like my dad. He was my role model.
Yeah.
Me, ungeniuliza the wisest person, me, I wanted to be like my dad. So anything, his words carried a lot of weight. So even that time, imagining myself telling him that I'm not graduating.
Yeah. What do you think you would have done?
That time?
That time when he called you on the phone and you tell him, you know what, Dad, I'm not graduating because I've not been going to class. What do you think you would have done? And you said your mom was more stricter than your father.
I don't know. I've never thought about it. But because one day he found out, I'll tell you how he found out.
Beautiful. So you said you're going to give them a graduation.
Yes, and I gave them one. Nikapanga hiyo kitu. And from the day of that call, up until the day nilienda rehab, that call was made in December 2015, and nilienda rehab April 2018. I never had a sober moment. Not a sober day, a sober moment. I don't remember a day I slept.
Wow. The
Mimi nilikuwa
graduation
na
was
blackout.
supposed to be 2015,
Yes.
but you went to rehab in 2018.
Yes,
3 years later.
yes.
Yeah.
So na hiyo graduation ili happen, mind you.
How did it happen? Make us understand.
Sasa si nitapatia watu tips ya kufake.
No, it's okay. You know we are learning. No, it's okay. It's okay.
So
It's
number
your
one,
story.
number one ni kujua. Mimi watu wanataka kuona kwa graduation gown,
The gown.
jina kwa kitabu.
Yeah.
That time, the internet was there, but it was not very, kama nakumbuka, around that time when many people are accessing a website, ilikuwa inaenda chini. That worked for me perfectly.
Downtime.
That worked for me perfectly. Hiyo time yote, that period, website yake ilikuwa inafanya.
Okay.
So that worked. Hapo ndio ningeshikwa. So si wanataka kuona jina kwa kitabu. Kitabu tunaweza tengeneza.
Right.
Wanataka kuona gown. Gown we can hire.
Can hire.
Wanataka kuona gate pass. In fact, graduates wa ukweli walikuwa napewa 6 gate pass. Mimi nilikuwa na 9.
Wow. For your guests. Okay, Jeff, sure.
Nilikuwa na 9.
Tell us how you did that.
Si kuna wale wasi wana graduate na hawaendi graduation. Si unipatie gate pass zako, nikupatie 1,000. Juu uzitumi. Si umepewa na utumi. Si unipe. Yeah. Then kuna watu Nairobi wanafanya biashara ya kupatia watu gown. Wakanipatia
Watu kama
gown.
nyinyi.
Watu kama sisi wako.
Yeah.
Wako. Ukitafuta vizuri.
Yeah.
Wako. Lakini msifanye hivyo.
Yeah.
Viewers. Because ile guilt
do
itakugonga.
that.
Ile guilt ilinigonga. Unasikia ilinigonga hadi I was not able to
Have a sober moment.
have a sober moment. Mimi sikuwa napata usingizi. So ni either nikunywa ni blackout. Most of the times from that day nilikuwa najipata kama nimetokea kukunywa hivi. Nitaamka asubuhi nikiwa tu hivi. Most of the times hata sikuwa najua vile nimefika home, ama hata nimelala tu kwenye niko, ama nimelala tu kwa bar, kama ni hapo kwa bar nimejiekelea tu hapo.
What a life.
What a life.
What a life.
Yes.
So ukaprint booklets.
Booklets, print. Kuna vile tulidoctor the original one. Just had to get somebody. Unajua ilikuwa inapeanwa asubuhi of the graduation, so I just had to get somebody to give me and somebody else to come to town, some place in West yenye stataja, and they just knew how to do it. Okay, haikukaa ungeangalia with a forensic eye ungejua but who has time for forensics?
Your father just wants to see your name on the booklet.
That's it. Na amekuwa na gown. And then hiyo siku si graduation ilianza 8:30. Mimi niliwaambia inaanza 10:30.
Ndio kwa umejipanga.
Ndio wachelewe.
Ndio wachelewe.
So kuna auntie yangu alifika mapema. Ule auntie. So watoto wake walikuwa wadogo. I think one of them was not feeling well. So walikuwa kwa kiwanja. So I don't know. Then she told me, "Hey, nimesikia jina yako." Niko like, "Umesikia jina yangu?" "Umesikia?" Hebu tell.
Alisikia jina yako wapi?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe there was another Jaffe though. I don't know.
All right.
But that day things
Okay.
just worked. But the worst thing was around 300 people came.
Okay. For your graduation?
Yes. I'll show you the pictures after this. You won't believe it.
Around 300 people came for your graduation.
We had the party after the school, ile party wanaendanga. Our hall ilikuwa imejaa. There were like 10 cakes or something, or I don't know how many goats.
Who are those people?
Family. My dad's colleagues.
Yeah.
Na karibu kanisa nusu ya Maadhi walikuwa wamekam.
Church ya Maadhi.
Na watu wa Ocha. Unajua vile watu wa Ocha. And then unajua bado nilikuwa popular.
Yeah.
And then unajua watu walikuwa wanajua mimi ni mlevi. Na nimegraduate.
Yeah.
So walikuwa wamekuja kuwitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a testimony for them. Yeah.
Na hiyo siku bado nilikuwa mlevi. Na mtu akikutana anambia, "Why not?" See.
Wow, you are drunk that day.
Very. I couldn't do it sober. Wow. Didn't have the guts. In fact, remembering that day, I decided nimefeel huko. Nimefeel weird.
Wow.
It was not, I may be laughing now.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a lot of weight to carry.
Let me take you back a bit
Yes.
to that day when you were graduating, of course, in quotes. The moment you saw your parents, especially your father, walk in to the graduation grounds,
Yes.
what went through your mind? And specifically, where were you located? Ulikuwa wapi?
Nilikuwa tu kwa shule. Natembea tu huko na gown. So the first thing I told him, "Hey, mmechelewa. Mlikuwa wapi?"
But you told them to come at 10:30?
Yes. That was a calculated move.
Yeah. So uliwaambia mmechelewa?
Mmechelewa. So of course they start with the questions. I was very drunk.
Wow.
I was very
Did they notice you're drunk?
Yes.
Okay.
They could ask, "Hey, na nini?" Ambia, "No, it's my day." I was very drunk. In fact, I remember that morning. I didn't sleep that night, that Thursday night. Nililala pahali kwa strip club fulani tao.
Before the graduation?
Yes. I had my gown there.
Kwa strip club?
Yeah.
Okay, Jay. Because sometimes I look at you and I'm like...
At around 4 a.m. And then I had very shaggy hair.
Yeah.
Those very unneat
Yeah.
locks.
Unkempt hair.
Yeah, very unkempt hair. Ile
Locks. You had locks?
hizo hata siziita locks. Wacha tuite shaggy hair.
Yeah.
Wacha tuziite locks wannabe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kalala hapa tao. 4 a.m. I went to the car house I was living. Nikabrush. Hata sikuoga, sikumbuki kama nilioga. Nikavaa kashati na kakoti na katrao na nini. Then nikakuja tao tena. Kutafuta kinyozi yenye imefunguliwa at 5 a.m.
Why town?
Juu sasa huko Ruiru
Zimefungwa. Yeah.
And then saa akili yangu, I don't know ilikuwa inarana aje, nilikuwa napenda tao sana.
You like town so much.
So
it was your area of operation.
It was my area of operation, tao, Ruiru, hivyo.
Yeah.
Nikakuja nikanyolewa. By 6:30 I was welcomed. By 7 nilikuwa KU huko nyuma kwa kabani nikitoa lock. Nikingoja watu wakuje. Because now he plan lazima ingeingiana. I had no room for mistakes. Of course, there are few people who helped me. Anika.
It's true.
Yeah, because I had to get somebody for the book. I had to get somebody to push the storyline.
You are working with a team.
Yeah, I was like with three other guys that were helping me. I had to get...
Were they graduating themselves? Were they?
No.
Okay.
Kwa hiyo ilikuwa mbogi yangu.
Na walikuwa job. You are paying them.
Asi walikuwa najua bale jioni nitachiwa do.
Yeah.
Ndawalewesha.
Yeah.
Na mademu wao.
Okay. So your parents came?
Wakakuja.
Kulikuwa na bash?
Kubwa sana.
But did your father ask whether your name has been mentioned? Jina limeitwa? Because your auntie allegedly alisikia jina lako.
Si aliuliza.
Oh, your father asked.
Yes.
Kama umetajwa.
Na walishukushuku. Kushuku nayo walishukushuku.
Kivipi?
So like, ai, ujamaa ana graduate kweli. Wanaangalia hivi, naona hapana.
Nani alikuwa anashuku sana?
Mzae.
Oh, mzae.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nikasikia anasema, mimi nitaamini hiyo degree ikikuja kwa nyumba.
Oh.
I was like, okay, ni degree unataka?
Okay.
So degree si upeanwa baadaye.
Yeah.
Nikakuja nikatengeneza moja mzuri sana nikampelekea.
River Road.
Wow. Zinakuanga za ukweli. Hizi unasikianga huko.
Na inakaa authentic.
Hadi alienda kukompea na ingine ya msichana mwingine alikuwa amegraduate cha ukweli huko nyumbani.
Ikakaa real.
Ikakaa real.
Interesting.
Hadi akaniambia sasa kuna kazi imepatikana.
Alright.
Nikajua hapa nitaenda kunishikwe. Nikamwambia don't worry. Kuna watu walikuwa wameniambia wanaweza nipatia scholarship ya masters. Let me wait for their feedback.
You told him that.
Yes.
So bash ime happen, wamerudi Kirinyaga.
Yes.
Na watu 300, umebaki Nairobi.
Nimebaki Nairobi.
Na ulipeleka fake degree.
In fact, hiyo day unaona ile ndo walinichangia.
Yeah.
It was on a Friday.
Yeah.
Wednesday nilikuwa napiga simu home nitumwe 500 nipate fare ya kwenda home.
Oh my God.
And it was around 50,000-60,000.
Walikuacha 60,000. They gave you 60k cash.
Yes. Na Wednesday, that was on Friday. And on Wednesday, nilikuwa naomba 500 niende home.
So ulikunywa yote?
Yote.
Strip club? Wanawake? So moving on now, what happened?
So my dad tells me now, kuna hii job imepatikana, ameconfirm degree ni legit. Me I tell him, kuna watu wananipatia scholarship ya masters.
Hutaki kufanya job?
Sitaki kufanya job. Of course, he was for it. So I came to Nairobi to meet my sponsors.
Yeah.
Went back with a letter, and an admission letter, ya masters.
Ya masters. Bado KU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sold. And I told him the only thing you'll be doing is pay for my house and pocket money.
Okay. Wow.
That was 2016 now.
Yeah.
Nakwambia maisha ilinigonga. Even with all that money and everything, nilikuwa nashindwa kulipa hao. So we ended up renting a single room somewhere in a ghetto, tukuwa wase watano. Hiyo single room ilikuwa inalipwa dhao. So tukuwa wase watano, najua hapa rent. So mbili. Na kukuanga na maji, ilikuwa na stima, but hakukuanga na maji. So maji ilikuwa na buy ile maji ya kuleta na mkokoteni. Najua tu na hiyo time, what we used to do, tulikuwa tunaenda kuogea Ruiru River. Hapo, kwa ndani huko kwa maana.
Na mnavua nguo watu wazima, mnaoga kwa river?
Na tunaswim huko vibaya sana. Tulikuwa tunaona ikiwa form.
Wow.
But I remember at around that time, hizi thoughts za venye life yangu imekuwa, they started weighing down. And I started feeling like I'd rather be dead. I'd rather die. Now what is this? In fact, right now hata nikiongea hiyo story nasikia huku. Nakumbuka hizo memories.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
But I thank God I was not very courageous. Mimi ningejiua. But nilikuwa naogopa.
You are having suicidal thoughts?
Yes, not suicidal thoughts. I was thinking I'd be better off dead. And sometimes I would think of ways. Sometimes I would walk on the road and wish, si mtu akifanya makosa apite na mimi.
Wow. Yeah. So wale wase ulikuwa naishi nao kwa hiyo nyumba mkiwa watano, were they students like you? Walikuwa wamedrop? Some of them. Yeah.
Some of them walikuwa students like me wamedrop. Others ni wale watu wamekuja Nairobi kuhaso. Haso imekataa.
Wow. And you are not working at all. Pesa ni Mbuyu anakutumia?
Mbuyu anakutumia ama nitafute mtu nikon. Because there are people who had I graduated and sikuwa naenda shule. Kuna watu nilidanganya, najua kuhack system. So they used to there was some money I used to be sent by people who are not reading.
Yeah.
Wenye wako wanaenda shule wakifikiria nitawafanyia miracle.
Kai. Okay.
So nikitumiwa maybe in a week na change number.
Yeah.
Hivyo. Hiyo scam nilirun.
So you are scamming people online?
Not online. Si mimi unanipata base. Nasikia buda unajua ku hack system watu wana graduate. Mimi nakwambia kwani?
That's how you are making the money.
Part of it. But of course ilikuja ikaisha. Life became so unbearable. You levy nini. So at some point to supplement money I started selling weed. Nikaanza kuuza mwoka. Just to try, you know. And kinda it's like my mind accepted that
That's your life.
That's my life.
Yeah.
Until one of the girls you are asking.
Mwenye alistick.
Madam. Juu alikuwa ameenda abroad akakuja.
Nani sasa alikuwa ameenda abroad?
Wadem.
One of the girls. Yeah.
Alikuwa ameenda abroad. Alikuwa ameniacha nikiwa fiti kitu 2013.
Yeah.
So unajua alirudi 2016 akiwa in love.
Yeah. With you?
Sasa alikuwa in love.
Yeah.
Sasa mimi sijui. Okay, I presume.
Yeah.
Juu alikuja kunitafuta. Then mimi sioni shida ya maisha yangu. Napeleka udem kwa mnamwambia situende nikaoge tutoke. Then tunaenda kwa mtu udem alilia.
Unamwambia acha twende tuoge, anafikiria ni bafu shower. Unaenda kwa river.
What? Why are you crying?
Oh God. Alilia. Unaingia kwa river.
Akalia. But because she had some money, akaniosha.
How do you mean kukuosha?
Akanitoa kwa mto. So tukaenda tukachukua kahao place tukaanza kuishi naye.
Yeah.
But ujua sasa bado tunajua amekuja na do. So by that time
nchi gani?
Uko Middle East, one of them. Kuwait, Lebanon.
Yeah.
One of it.
Okay.
Right. So she comes. Now I can afford new clothes.
She's buying for you.
Of course.
She's like a wife now. Okay.
Like, hiyo December. Mimi nimepeleka msichana nyumbani.
Kwa wazazi? Ukamuintroduce?
You see, I had this image to maintain.
Yeah.
So this guy is doing masters. Amekuja na kapeng. Yeah.
Karembo.
Kwanza unajua sasa kuna pesa sasa anakaa.
Were you in love with her?
Love is a complicated thing. Hiyo acha nisijibu. Jua naweza washa.
Okay,
let me just say,
we get the answer.
At that point, it was working for both of us. Or
was she drinking and were you drinking?
She was drinking, she was smoking weed. The only thing she was not doing is chumira.
Okay.
So 2017, the 2017 inafika, do imeisha. She tries to go back, she's deported. She comes back. She has nowhere else to go. Now because watu wawili hatuna job, hatuna do.
Yeah.
We are both essentially addicts, although I was worse. So leo tungelala kwa Ann, kesho tuende kwa yule.
Kwa Magi. Yeah.
Wow. It became so bad. So 2017 in contrast now, we go home, we are broke. Na tunakaza tumechapa.
Kwa wazazi?
Yeah. So unajua si ni December lazima tuende
kwa wazazi, yeah.
So ukumbuka masters program ni 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to do it 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So mimi nikaenda nikamwambia mimi nimeshindwa na ima masters. Lakini msijali sasa nimepata job. Nimepata job which was.
Na haoni vile unakaa. They are not able to pick, you know.
They were picking.
Yeah.
Now later is when I came to realize now they were walikuwa wanajua nimekuwa pabaya. Because remember hii ni ile period I can't even sleep. Mimi ni blackout. I can't even have I'm always drunk. I'm that guy. If you meet me, I'm drunk. See tipsy. Drunk.
So you can't talk, you can't have a
okay, I'll talk but I will be drunk.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Hata ukienda ushago, ulikuanga tu
drunk.
And is there a particular point, Jeff, when your father had a conversation with you about drinking, about alcohol?
Now, we are coming there.
Yeah.
So now 2018, now he started talking to me. Ambia hapana. Wewe, hey, there's something wrong with you. So he tells me nimekutafutia counselor.
Okay.
I tell him, good. So that time tulishindwa na maisha Nairobi na ule msichana tukaenda Shags. So that day bado msichana alikuwa home. So my dad tells me nimekutafutia counselor. I tell him okay, tunaenda Monday. Monday 8 am mimi siko home. Mimi nimeenda kukunywa. That evening akatupata kwa bar na huyo dem. He went out, he went home. Akaenda kakaa kitchen. Si alikuwa anajua nitaendea food. Nikikuja home. So mimi nimefika home saa 7 saa 8 usiku nimelewa. Sasa nimebeba hadi mzinga ya stock.
Wow.
Mimi sijui hiyo pesa ilikuwa inatoka wapi. Because at some point aliacha kunitumia dobat already. Unaona? Anyway, nimeenda kuchukua food kitchen. Akatokea, akachukua hiyo food akairusha kwa mlango.
Wow.
I managed, I think he wanted to beat me up or something. I managed to snatch him and to get away from him. And then I think my mother was sensing something will go down. So she came out of the bedroom screaming, "Usiniulie mtoto!"
Thank you. But was your father ever violent?
No.
He wasn't.
He wasn't. But I can imagine by that time, he's tried to talk to me, he's tried to, but...
To take you to a counselor.
Yeah.
You're going back to alcohol.
I didn't even get to the counselor. Uski nilihepa home.
Ulihepa hiyo saa mbili.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, I went back to my house and I could hear them arguing. Of course, I knew they were arguing about me. But I'm there, I'm in a stupor. You know, that coward. Yes, I'm like, nini sasa, si walale. Si maisha ni yangu. You know, some kind of arrogance.
Yeah.
Wakatulia, then my mom came to my house. She knocked.
And the girl is inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She knocked. I refused to open. Akakuja kwa dirisha ya bedroom yangu. She broke a window. Akafungua hiyo dirisha hivi. Madhe akambia, "Weka sichana. Kesho 6 am. Sitaki kuona."
Sasa msichana amefanya, what has the girl done?
Unajua tulikuwa tunalewana yeye.
Oh yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah.
So they needed to isolate her. Ndio mimi wajua vile watadili na mimi nikuwa peke yangu.
And had you known her parents? Had you gone to her parents?
No, but I knew her sister.
Okay.
Hey, anyway, madhe amekaa amefukuza ule msichana. Amefukuza ule msichana. Ampeleka hadi stage. Mimi nawafuata nyuma. I really insulted.
That's in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm still drunk. Unajua nimeamka na ile mzinga nimetoa lock, so I'm still drunk. Then I started insulting my mom at a stage mbele ya watu wanamjua. I'm insulting her, telling her, sasa umenifukuzia msichana, sasa nitakuwa nafanya nani? Sasa
You told her that.
Sasa wewe hata sijui kama mimi ni wako.
Hey,
I really insulted her.
wow.
And
Where?
that was another thing. So
Was she talking back?
No.
She was quiet.
She was quiet. She remained quiet. She didn't do anything. She just walked away. So I didn't go home. Nikakaa huko.
Na dema shapanda mata ameenda.
Amepelekwa. Madhe alingoja aende. Asirudi. So I didn't go home.
Yeah.
So nikarudi huko in my village, and what I would do nikaanza kulala kwa hizo vibanda. So basi kifungwa naenda tafuta place na lala. Mind you, I'm from a popular family. So it was not a good picture. One day I was so angry. Nimekosa pesa ya banki. Nikaenda nikatafuta babangu pale alikuwa amekaa. Nikamwambia, this was 3-4 days after Ode mafukuze. Nikamwambia ni peso. I was drunk. Peso. My dad looked at me. Niliona akijirestrain. I could see. He was very angry. But at that moment, me, I wanted to die. Me nilikuwa naomba mtu anipige nikufe. You know, it was so. So my dad gives me 100 bob.
Wow.
Then he tells me, I'll give you this 100 shillings every day until you die. Uniondoke. He gave me 100. That night I went back home. In the morning, pale madhe alikuwa ananiwekea chai, nikapata kaso hapo. The second day, the third day, the fourth day, kuna siku sikupata kaso, nikapata kaso M-Pesa. After a week, of the 200s, because at that time I could feel I was not okay. Nilikuwa nasikia
ulikuwa nasikia mwili yako haiko poa.
Nilikuwa nasikia siko fiti.
Yeah.
I was sickly. And also at around that time ningekuwa naenda home usiku naruka shimo, like naona kishimo naruka, alafu naona
hakuna shimo, naruka nini?
Hakuna shimo.
Yeah.
Ama natembea hivi nasikia nafuatwa nyuma, papa na kimbia anajificha kwa kamti. So I knew there was a problem.
You got those hallucinations?
Yes, I knew
there's a problem.
Yeah. But to accept that was very hard. Yeah. And everybody, imagine hata walevi wananiambia, mlevi anakuambia wewe uko na shida.
It's not funny though. Wow.
Jamaa
mlevi mwanzo anakuambia wewe.
Hapana.
Hii hapo ni tofauti. Yeah.
So nikakumbuka within those 200s nikakumbuka wow, na mzee aliniambia atanipa tu vitu hadi nikufe. And I remember that day tulikuwa na cousin yangu ambaye ni mlevi pia. So he talked to me, he's like, you go talk to your dad nicely. He can do something for you. By that time juu ya kutokujikubali I went, mbia my dad sasa, mimi nataka kutransform. Nataka kufanya degree ingine. I'm still not accepting ile ya kwanza ni ya uongo. But by that time alikuwa anashanijanjarukia. Anambia, unataka kufanya degree gani? Sawa. So tukaenda UN, Embu campus, tukachukua hizo mapapers za admission.
Embu campus.
Yeah. On our way back he tells me, now before nikulipie school fees, I need you nikupeleke kwa rafiki yangu daktari, akuangalia kichwa, unajua hauko sawa. Akupe madawa.
Yeah.
Hiyo bangi itoke.
Yeah.
See, it was April 2018. Ndo wanze shule
vizuri.
But he knew better. Alikuwa anajua huko ni rehab. Na walikuwa wanatafuta njia ya kunipeleka rehab.
Na wakufungia huko, you stay there. Okay.
So I accepted.
Yeah. And did you really want to go back to school?
Yes, I wanted.
For a degree now?
Yes. But now my thinking was that this time I'll make it.
Okay.
So sidei ikafika ya kuona the supposed friend. Naenda huko, naoneshwa huyu ndio daktari atakupima. But before mashini ya kukupima ikuje, enda usalimia watu kule chini. Enda kusalimia watu nikitoka hivi, sioni mzae.
Amekudump.
Amenidump.
Yeah.
Majamaa hapo wananiambia wewe sasa unakaa hapa 3 months hadi upone.
Okay.
Kwa rehab.
Okay. Yeah.
I felt defeated. Really defeated.
Were you drunk at that particular time?
That morning I was
You were still drunk?
Yes, because that morning tukienda, ide ya ku-apply, si hiyo day tulienda. We had to go home, then we come back. So that day nililewa hadi asubuhi.
Yeah.
I remember it was on a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Nililewa that Monday evening, April 23rd. Nililewa hadi April 24th, 5 a.m. Na tulitoka kwa nyumba 7 a.m. So I was visibly drunk by the time we got there at 8 a.m. So hata singedeny nina shida. I was 49 kilos. Up.
Because you're not eating well.
They did the LFTs, the liver function test, na hizo zingine za kidney. My kidneys were failing at 24. I was 24.
Wow.
Nilikuwa na miezi kama 4. Nilikuwa na notice si sweat. I used to brag about it to my friends. Kumbe ni kidney na fail bana. Na mimi hapa nasema.
Mwambie hautuangi jasho.
Mimi sitoangi jasho. At 24.
Yeah.
My lips were burnt huku. Hata sahi 7 years later I've been sober since. 7 years later hata lips zangu hazijaipona
kidogo kwa mbali. Yeah.
You can imagine how they were 7 years ago.
Wow.
I was completely done. By that time hizo nguo nilikuwa nimevaa. Those are the only things I had, because my dad had to go home, wapangane na madhe to go pack a bag for me. Waliingia kwa room yangu, hakuna nguo.
Ulikuwa umeuza? Ama zilikuwa tu
unasiacha? I don't know, sometimes ikichafuka unatupa, you know.
Delinquency. Yeah. So ukaingia rehab, wakakwambia unakaa hapa 3 months.
Yeah.
Alafu
one of my drinking buddies was there. He alikuwa ameadmitiwa before me. He really helped me. Huo ndo alinisaidia kusettle. I'll forever be thankful to him because of confidentiality. Sasema nina but anajijua. And he would encourage me. Hadi aliwaniambia, Jeff, if there's somebody who should recover, it's you. Look at the life you are living. I'll be like, we hapana. Mimi nitaachaje bangi? I could not think of a life without weed and alcohol. Sasa mtu ukaaje? Unaona hiyo kitu ilikuwa inanishtua sana. Okay, sasa nilikuwa nakaa hivi na imagine sasa nitakaaje. But even before I started thinking about that, I had very weird now withdrawal symptoms. It was painful. I would have weird dreams. There are things we call hypnagogic hallucinations. This is where your dream continues even when you wake up.
Unaendelea kuota?
Yes.
Na ushaamka?
Unaona hizi kama hizi dreams unaanguka kwa shimo. Si ukienda kugonga chini unaamkanga
you wake up.
Alafu kama uko na mpoa anakuuliza what is wrong? What's wrong baby? Unaona hizo dreams.
Anakukado. It's gonna be okay.
Yes. Now imagine uko rehab, umepata dream kama hiyo unaanguka kwa shimo, unaamka na unaendelea kuanguka. So you'll scream. Or a snake inakuja kukubite. So in a dream, normally, you'd wake up. Now me, I would wake up and I would feel the bite. And I would hold my neck and I would scream.
You'd feel the pain?
Yes. It was that bad. But nikapewa madawa, nikatulia. The first 2 weeks, hiyo face ilikuwa ishaisha. Then nikaingia sasa hii face ya, I was really angry at my dad. Nasema huyu jamaa hata ni anafaa kuwa hapa.
Why? Why?
Sipia anakunywanga. That was my thinking. You see, my thinking. I'm like, hapana. Sini mungeniambia tu niwache. Siningewaacha. But now, you see that is an addict thinking. Then,
but dad alikuwa anakunywa, but in moderation.
Well, tunaweza sema hivyo. His life is put together and he managed to raise us. But me, I was unable to raise myself.
It's true.
We can argue like that, which is true. I'd become an addict.
So hiyo ni face ya pili, anger.
Nashindwa sasa. Then at some point, at yuko rehab, I was not even at, kuna point ilifika I stopped cooperating. I would just do my own things. And they would let me. Because I was angry at everybody. Like, watu wakienda station.
Uko kwa bed.
What is the worst that you can do? I'm already in rehab.
Okay.
Why?
Chef.
And then those results, peer medical results, they came in.
The liver, the kidney.
That shook me. Yo, ilinigonga. No, the irony is, I really wanted to die, but seeing how close I was to dying,
you woke up.
I struggled with that. So one night on my bed, I had these memories of myself, my potential, where I would be in life, the things I've done. It flashed back. I felt so sad, deep sadness. And I remember saying, I don't want to live like that anymore. I remember saying, God help me, but by that time I was not believing in God. But I remember that night saying, whether you exist or not, you have to, I don't want to go back to that. That cannot be me anymore. And the following morning I woke up and I started telling people, I'll never drink again. I'll never touch a drug. I didn't know how. By that time I was almost 2 months, rehab near 3 months.
So you had a month to go.
Sasa nimewaste time yote nikifanya ujinga. Rehab imekuja imeisha. No, the first month my dad came. At around that time I was thinking I may never drink again. I was contemplating. And he told me, sasa kwa sawa ile kazi bado iko.
Kazi gani?
Ile kazi alikuwa amenitafutia.
Ile degree, after the degree,
Nikamwambia, the degree is fake.
Oh, you admitted finally.
Yes.
Okay.
Niambia,
In
what?
rehab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Niambia, what do you mean? So you even came for the graduation. Mind you, the first time my dad came, he didn't come with my mom. Because remember the last interaction I had with my mom,
Nilikuwa
nilikuwa
stage ukimtukana.
nikimtukana. So, and my mom didn't come because she didn't love me. Alikuwa ananiogopa. My dad told me, your mother is afraid of you. She didn't come. She's afraid you'll come here uanze kumpiga. And I told him, no. Next time come with her. And she came her turn, and I repeated the story. And we cried together as a family.
Wow. So
I sat there across my parents, both of them crying. It was painful yet liberating, because finally I felt I'm free, but at what cost? I don't wish anybody afike hapo. And hiyo siku babangu alinikuja kutoka rehab, he said something very important.
Yeah.
He was not even telling me, he was telling another guy, but I was in a near shot and I'm happy Japheth didn't graduate.
He said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if he had graduated and gotten a job, that money would have killed him. I wouldn't be having my son, and I need my son. That changed me. That I was like, wow.
Wow. You felt validated.
This is a gift to start over. So nimetoka rehab. I don't know what to do with my
So
life.
miezi 3 ikaisha.
Ikaisha.
No alcohol withdrawal symptoms zimepungua.
Zimepungua.
Yeah.
By that time nimeongeza 2 kilo. I'm around 56, 57.
We need to have the pictures actually. The before and you have the before and the after?
From 2015 to 2018,
Yeah.
I don't have a single photo of me.
Wow.
It
Did
was
you have a
that
phone?
bad.
You had a smartphone?
Yes, I did, but I could not take photos. I knew, when your mind knows
Something is wrong.
I wanted to isolate. I wanted to die. No. Na hata ukiangalia social media zangu, 2011 to 2015, I was posting pictures, even zingine hata nikivuta bangi nimepost. But 2015 to 2018, not a single photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the first photo I posted 2018, hiyo siku nilitoka rehab. And I captioned there, new beginnings. I really meant it.
New beginnings.
Yes.
Wow.
The other thing that changed me, I went to see my grandmother after rehab.
The mother to your daddy.
Yes. May her soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
She saw me, she brightened, and she said, she called me her son. I don't know why. So, my son is back. I don't know. She was so overjoyed. And I was like, no. I have to hack this thing. And so,
So you came out,
yes, I came out.
no job,
No job, no nothing.
feeling better about yourself,
Yes.
weight is improving.
Yes, na improve. Now the question was, what do I do with my life? And kuna kitu moja ilikuwa inanisumbua. Hakuna mtu alikuwa ananiambia kwa nini mimi ni addict. Nilikuwa nasikia vitu kama ulilogwa, damu yako ni nyepesi, wewe ulikuwa unakunywa na ujinga. I was not convinced. Because why me?
Why you and not somebody else?
And because I was not getting answers, I went to school to get answers. And that's how I became a psychologist.
Awesome. Helping other young people and of course older people.
I won't lie that
Wow.
that was the motivation. The motivation was
Yeah.
for me to understand myself.
Yeah.
But through that now, I realized actually this is what I want to do with my life. Because every time I share my story, every time I'm with someone and their life changes through me, it enriches me.
Yeah.
I get to remain sober. Right now I'm 7 years, 8 months
Sober.
sober.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ever felt the urge to smoke something
Hey,
since you left the rehab?
sana.
Ulikuwa na feel too.
Hata saa hizi.
Yeah.
Recently, hii mwaka tu.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes life inakuwa hard. And when I get those feelings of nothing's working, of course my mind will remember the things that made me feel good, and I will start thinking, right now a smoke would really feel nice.
Yeah.
Or right now a drink would really feel nice. And it takes a lot to get away from that, because I have to share with someone. Sometimes I share with my wife. I have friends that I talk to.
Yeah.
Mimi nasikia kufanya hivi.
Yeah.
And then they know, they just know what to tell me. They don't judge me. They like,
Yeah.
it shall pass. You see?
Yeah.
being a counselor, yes, helps, but in that moment, I'm not a counselor.
You're not a counselor, you're a human
I'm a
being.
human being
Yeah.
who's suffering. So the cravings will come.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad ones.
Yeah. So take us back as we wind up,
Yes,
Jeff. Take us
yes.
back, because you've told us that nobody was giving you the answers as
Yes.
to why you
Yes.
became an addict and not any other person.
Yes.
So what answers did you get? Why did you become an addict?
2020 during COVID time, I got my first job in Uganda. And during that period, my wife was expectant with our first child.
Yeah.
And during that period, there was the lockdown
Yeah.
in Uganda. So I was not able to come home for 8 months. Not because I didn't want to, but because I couldn't, because of the lockdown and the logistics.
Yeah.
And during that time, nikaanza kuonjeka.
In
Nikuwa huko.
Uganda.
Yes. So I would go and they would find nothing. First time, second time, third time. One of my supervisors told me, Jeff, I'm an anxiety. The moment he told me that, I was like, this is the way I felt all my childhood.
Anxiety.
Yes. I was like, because at around that time, I was also having severe urges to drink. I was like, this is it. This is what,
Anxiety.
it had to be it. And of course now, not knowing who I was, trying to live my life for others. Remember, I grew up wanting to make my dad proud. It was never about me.
But did he give you pressure? Did your father ever give you pressure?
It's not about him. It's what I made of it. You see, you can try your best, but the meaning other people make. You see, it's the meaning my mind made based on what was happening. By that time, I was in boarding school. I was being bullied. I was feeling like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So even if nobody is giving me pressure,
Yeah.
I'll feel worthless.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He's my role model, so I'll feel pressure.
To please him.
Yes, even if he's not directly
giving you the
him.
pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is not even blaming him off. It is what my mind made.
All right.
It was what was happening inside me. So that,
So the diagnosis now was anxiety.
yes. And I had now to do therapy, work through that, you know. Just see how my mindset changed. Just see how I always thought about myself and life and change that to rediscover myself now in a new phase. And let me tell you, after that period, by the time I discovered that I was 2 years sober, I began enjoying my sobriety.
All right.
Even those 2 years that I remained sober, still I was sober, yes,
Yeah.
but I was not, I didn't have the oomph. I still felt I was doing it for other people.
Okay.
Oh, see, I'm sober.
Yeah. For them to see.
Yes.
Okay.
But after that, when I really got to what had brought me there in the first place, I started enjoying my sobriety.
Yeah.
I started feeling I can be myself slowly by slowly. It's a day by day journey.
Yeah.
You discover new things. Sometimes you stay a period of maybe 6 months or even an year without an issue. And then all of a sudden you have an issue and you are brought back to reality.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you think the availability of alcohol in your home and seeing your father drink so comfortably around the home setting made your anxiety be amplified and actually getting you right into the jaws of addiction?
I wouldn't say anxiety, but I would say it contributed in the sense it was my first relationship with alcohol. My first relationship with alcohol
At 9
was
years.
that, not even the drinking. You see, when I say relationship, for example, to have a relationship with something, you don't have to have it close to you. Let me give an example. If you wish to go to a vacation,
Yes.
maybe to Malibu,
Yeah.
and you've never been there,
Yeah.
you already have a relationship with Malibu because of your imagination. So the relationship I had with alcohol from a very young age was that this thing is for clever people, is for successful people, is for people who are happy, is for people who... So it was very hard to get that out of me. The anxiety is more from the school setting where I was being bullied, where I was not performing, and I had to go home and be seen like a failure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, I think we'll have to invite you again on the set because now we need to get seriously what you do and how you coach, especially young people.
Yes.
And talking to guardians and parents on how to avoid such situations.
Yeah.
As we wind up, Jeff, now tell us, how is the relationship between your mother and yourself?
Now, through the program that I did in the rehab and through the work that I've done now by myself, I discovered me and my parents, we didn't really know each other. Because remember all these years, I was in boarding school.
Yeah.
The only time they saw me was in holiday.
Yeah.
And it's not all the time because they are not there. So we had to start knowing each other afresh. We had to start there. My dad became my best friend.
Up to today?
Yes.
He's still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now we talk about friend things.
Yeah.
I can be myself without feeling that pressure from him. He's my dad, but I don't feel that.
You have to please him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, my mom.
Ulimwapologize ya kwanza madhi?
Hey,
Ile story ya...
sana.
Yeah.
But by that time, she was just glad to have me back.
All
She was
right.
just glad to have me back.
All right.
And of course, a relationship with a higher power. You know, to
That is God, right?
yes,
Okay.
to help me where I can't.
Yeah.
I can only do so much. No. For example, I don't know when I'll get the next craving.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear people relapse at 10 years sober,
Yeah.
15 years sober. It is scary.
Yeah. So what keeps you in check?
Keeps me in check and sharing even my story like this.
Yeah.
You see, even meeting people like you who give me a platform to talk about my story so openly,
Yeah.
to talk about these things. It's a gift. Because let me tell you, if I was to relapse today, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because now I'll walk out of here knowing that I've declared I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you so much. On that note, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And of course, impacting on people's lives. I'll invite you again.
Thank you.
We get to hear more of the story and how you do the work. All right, my people, you got the story of Jeff. And remember to remember to subscribe as usual. Click the subscribe button. Na Jeff, you do the counseling.
Yes.
Maybe we can get your social media handles. We can maybe get your number, how people can reach you, because basically you're here to impact on people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So social media zangu zote Jeff Githinji ama Japheth Muremi.
Yeah.
You won't miss.
Yeah.
Na namba yangu ni 0702 492050.
Yeah.
0702 492050.
All right. Thank you so much. See you next time. Subscribe. God bless.